Well, good morning to you, and thank you so much for choosing NTV Uganda as your preferred network of keeping you informed and abreast with the matters that are important and, of course, that you must be aware of to make the informed decision. I am Priscilla Regina Naruoga, and welcome to our special program this morning focused on Uganda's journey towards financial inclusion as well as economic empowerment. Now, today, in a special way, we are spotlighting a critical institution that is driving such a change, and that is the Microfinance Support Centre. For over 25 years, the Microfinance Support Centre has been at the heart of wealth creation. They've been at the heart of transforming communities, as this is across the country, and this is through different affordable financing as well as capacity building support. Now, as a government program, the Microfinance Support Centre has also been providing affordable credit, guess what, up to 8%. Isn't that interesting? If you didn't know, now you're going to be informed for an entire hour, and you can make a better financial decision. They've also been in the business of strengthening circles and community groups through capacity building as well as supporting key national agendas. Case in point is the Vision 2040. They're also in support of the National Development Plan that is now entering Phase 4. And of course, the international frameworks are also embedded in the work that they do. The SDGs are the ones that I'm referring to. And therefore, today we are privileged to be joined by representatives from the Microfinance Support Centre and government, and they're going to be helping us unpack more of the work that they do and how you can actually access some of these opportunities right at your fingertips, at your doorsteps, in your communities, as groups, as circles, and perhaps as individuals. Now, it's NTV. The hashtags are across our social media platforms, and you can definitely live stream with us on X as well as Facebook, and you can equally get us on YouTube and our website www.ntv.co.ug. Allow me to introduce my excellent panel this morning. I am joined by Mr. Gibson Ainamani. He's the Head of Business Development Services, and this is with the Microfinance Support Centre. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Priscilla, and thank you for hosting us.
It's a pleasure. Head of Business, what is your task basically?
Thank you, Priscilla. My task is to ensure that the company's mission is achieved. And what is our mission? Is to have strong circles, strong groups, which will ensure that the last person in Uganda can access affordable credit. We'll create jobs, and we'll improve on savings at the household level.
All right, that's amazing. Can't wait to get to know more about it. We also do have the Deputy Resident City Commissioner amidst us from Much India Division, and of course representing government. Thank you so much for joining us. We would call you Madam President because your capacity that you're representing. And this is Miss Nashemeza Caroline.
Yeah, good morning viewers and Uganda. I'm happy to be here, and thank you for hosting us.
What's the uptake of such opportunities in the people that you represent so far?
One is to thank God for the gift of life that we are still serving our country. And I want to thank you, Priscilla, that you're pulling women also to come and talk and people listen to us. And I want to thank Microfinance Support Centre and the Minister, and to thank the President of Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for these initiatives in giving out people money. And I want to thank Microfinance, pulling RDCs also to be the frontliners in the implementation of these programs. I think I'll talk about wealth creation, but what I have witnessed in the entire Kampala, and majorly in my area, these people give out the money. The money were given out as were guided by the President of Uganda, and they started some new generating activities that can make them get out of poverty.
All right.
So what I'm seeing is that people are getting out of poverty, and there is good living.
Evidence-based.
So yes, evidence-based. So we are happy and proud of our President, and I'm happy to be on NTV.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for giving us time. We also do have Mr. Tadeo Atuhura, Communication Manager with the Microfinance Support Centre. Good morning to you, and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning to you, Priscilla. Good morning to the viewers. Great to be here. Thank you for hosting us. At the Microfinance Support Centre, we always feel proud when we get an opportunity to tell the country how much we are doing in terms of transforming the livelihoods of the economically active poor.
Okay.
It's a great opportunity for us to be here, Priscilla.
All right. All right, it's an honor to have you. Now let's get into the matter of understanding what Microfinance Support Centre does and how it does it. And at the end of the day, we are trusting that you can walk away with information that can help you be able to tap into the opportunities that lie right before you as we have this discussion. So I'll start with you, Mr. Atuhura. In regards to the Microfinance Support Centre, what is its role in terms of Uganda's developmental and transformational agenda?
Thank you, Priscilla. First and foremost, the Microfinance Support Centre is a government agency. We are a government entity that is into development financing. And for the last 25 years, we're celebrating 25 years. We should invite you very soon to cut some cake and celebrate the lives that we've touched. And so we ensure that we have, we lower the cost of capital, and by making sure that it is affordable credit or affordable finance. By affordability, we're talking about the low interest rates. I'm very happy that you're following us closely. We are offering, government is offering at 8% all our finance. 8% really is low. It means that the government's intention is to make sure that people, as many more people can join the money economy. And also it's about the fees. We have always seen really most entrepreneurs, most people having challenges to access this capital just because of the processing fees. Now our processing fees, if they are actually at zero, because we tend to offer people what really government is there to be able to champion in terms of wealth creation. And inclusive in a sense that every person is part of it. It's not limiting. We go up to the lowest common person to be able to access these services. The Microfinance Support Centre gives you this opportunity, but before we do that, we also have another great pillar, which is around capacity building. Priscilla and the viewers, before you give somebody money, they must have the knowledge to how to manage, to make the wealth, to how to manage the money. And some projects have stalled just because people did not have that knowledge before. They received the money, but they did not have the capacity. And we also ensure that we build strong circles and groups, and that's how we're able to deliver our mandate. Why circles and groups, cooperatives? Because we know the ripple down effect of how much we have been able to give and how many people can connect to the conversation around wealth creation will be actually huge. So in a circle, you have transformation happening to so many other people than if money would be taken by an individual. But also it's a directive from our mother ministry, Minister of Finance, that we're able to look at giving funds to the circles, to the groups, so that they can be able to reach as many more as possible. Now, as the Microfinance Support Centre, like the head of BDS or business development will talk about, we're also privileged that the government was able to give us the mandate to manage one of the most successful grants in this country. That's the Presidential Initiative on Wealth and Job Creation, EMIOGA. This fund, since 2019, we have had a lot of impact. We have seen lives get transformed. The Deputy RCS has just talked about Machindi, but the entire country, in the 18 categories of EMIOGA, there is transformation happening. And we are proud to say that we continue to see more lives get transformed. The circles that have come up, they are really doing very well. They have enterprises. We're seeing them producing different products, and they are able to create jobs at the end of the day. Household incomes also being able to get increased. The other aspect, like you alluded to, is that we don't do this in isolation. As government, we have got key anchors. The National Development Plan for now, we have got the Vision 2040, and also we also look at, when we create this impact, how is this impact looked at internationally? The Sustainability Development Goals. So when somebody gets the funds, if that lower person gets money, they can be able to take their child to school, they can be able to improve on their welfare, they can be able to access health care. We are actually impacting at even a global level. So we ensure that as Microfinance Support Centre, we serve everyone. We are a country agency. countrywide with offices throughout the entire country, and we serve Ugandans and ensure that they're able to get the best. What makes us very happy at Microfinance Support Centre, the entire professional team, through our robust systems, is when we see a household transformed, when we see that individual Ugandan transformed, when we see that community through the circle getting transformed. And how do we know that? We're seeing the household incomes increase.
Okay.
We're able to see them to join the money economy, because at the end of the day, it's our whole agenda of ensuring that Ugandans are able to join the socio-economic transformation agenda.
Okay.
That's in brief our mandate.
All right, so I'm going to come back to you to understand better what you have told us, but in statistics, because we may say Ugandans, but there are 45.9 million Ugandans. Of that, how many have you impacted? Which regions have been the best in uptake of some of these opportunities that you offer with the Microfinance Support Centre? But you have continuously emphasized the word impact, and I know that the Deputy RCC here has been able to evidence that impact in Machindia division. Could you talk to us about the actual impact that you have seen on ground and the people that have actually been transformed by the opportunities that they have uptaken from the support center?
Thank you so much, Priscilla, and the viewers, and my colleagues who have joined here for the program. Of course, one is to congratulate Ugandans because we have registered this and it is SCORE, and it is on wealth creation, and which is done by the government, planning for its people through the ministries. And one of the ministries is Ministry of Microfinance Support Centre. And this program started in 2019. I think that's when people were grouped and to form associations. Then after associations, they had to form the circles, and the monies were given to them. And I remember we started by each circle getting the 30 million. Then they kept on increasing according to how they were using the money. But what I have witnessed is that people got the money and they applied for the loans. Abantu bafuna sente and they applied for the loans. And they started some income generating activities that can get them out of poverty. So what I've witnessed is that we are fighting poverty, and it is getting out of our communities. I don't know, what I would think now is, like me, you, the media, if we can get out of our offices and we go to the field, and we capture all these people that received the money, because many people received the money. Of course, many categories. We started with the 18 categories and they go to the money. And in Machindia, we are doing very well, very, very well, because trainings have been done. We have done verifications, we have done a lot, and now we are adding more capital of those who performed very well. But when you go to the communities and you visit these groups, you see that the government of Uganda has done a lot. And we have been following the president talking about wealth creation, and how we generate wealth is through these groups. Of course, people getting money and utilize it very well so that other people can also get the money. So I think Microfinance Support Centre, Barikumulamwa, they are doing a good job, and we need to support them. What we need to do now, I think, is to encourage our people who get the money to use the money well, so that other people can also receive. But if we broke that chain of giving and utilizing, and then it might be a problem. But Makinde, we are progressing very well, and we want to thank our president that we are getting the money.
Okay, from where I'm seated, we measure progress by assessing, yes, the money has been given by government, yes, the Microfinance Support Centre is doing their job, but when we look down to the distribution of these monies, we have the special interest groups, we have the older persons, we have the youth, we have the women, we have people with disabilities or special abilities, and so it begs the question, from your observation in Machindia, have these particular groups been well catered to in terms of ensuring that they are part of the financial transformation discussion and agenda.
Yes, Mama, these people received the money. And I have witnessed it through our meetings where we go, through vetting of these circles, and people go to the money. If you go to Gaba and see these women, if you go to Uziga, and really I have seen things I was not even expecting.
For example, we're very interested in knowing like real stories that you have been able to talk to and interact with.
We have stories within the communities of the people who received individual stories and group stories. When you look at these borders and you see those who received the money and how utilized. Actually, I have seen people now leaving the business that have been doing and now planning to go for bigger businesses so that other people can also join the industry of that. So there is a lot of progress. And I would think now, since Priscilla, you're here under the category of journalism, I don't know whether you received the money, you would be the first witness that I received the money, and this is how I have grown. But these businesses are there. People are in borders, people have started small businesses. When you go into these communities, that's why I would want us maybe to get a day 1 or 2, then we go with you, with the media, and you capture these stories. Recently, we are also moving into groups preparing for the coming of the president. But I was so happy to see businesses growing. And so it's not a lie or something. These monies were given, and people are very happy. Even when you look at their health, people have changed. They are not the other people we used to see.
When people get some money.
So when
take care of themselves. It does a lot of transformation.
So transformation is within the communities. So what we should do is to pray for the president, and maybe the challenge I'm seeing is public awareness. People are not aware. Of course, people who are supposed to get the information are not from the way I said. So we need to zero on that in our plannings. In our planning, either be microfinance or NTV. So people need to know this information, because this money is for somebody. But some people don't get this information. So if we can focus on public awareness, we dominate radios, we dominate TVs, we sensitize people, talk to them, I think really we shall be there. And I was listening to the budget. And the president was very clear about the budget of some of these groups, the Myoga, the Women Fund, the Youth Fund, and a lot of billions of money is going to be put. Now, that's what I'm now saying. How many people, how many Ugandans are going to know that the government has given that money or put those monies into the banks and should go and apply and get the money and do their businesses? You'll find very few will do that. So we need now to focus on public awareness so that people get to know where to get this money, and maybe also be taught about the proceedings of getting the money, and we get it and go and implement it. We shall fight poverty and leave it. But after also fighting poverty, we should support the government. And we know where we came from. So we should do that, because I remember before microfinance coming in, our people were not badly off. You could go to communities and but now, oh my goodness, you cannot challenge a border person. Even a border man who is on a stage is even better than a civil servant who sits in office full time. If you compare, you calculate very well. So I think we are doing very well. We should keep on praying for our country so that we don't lose that track.
Okay. All right. This is where Mr. Ainamani, you bring in your Amani, and we talk about business development, which is your strength and which team that you lead. She has talked about the information gap that we do have. So let's bridge that gap for our audience this morning to better understand what are some of the services that are majorly provided for under the Microfinance Support Centre.
Thank you, Priscilla. The Microfinance Support Centre, as the head of communication said, we started in 2001. and we are government-owned. We have been supporting circles, supporting groups since 2001. Our services mainly, we are into building capacities of circles and capacities of groups. What do I mean? Our major issue, our major focus is to ensure that we have a strong group and a strong circle, which can be sustainable even when MSC is no longer there. And when a Microfinance Support Centre is doing its work, our major focus is capacity building. That's what we first do, even before allowing our clients to access funding. Our major issue is capacity building, supporting circles, supporting groups to ensure that they can stand for their own. We do this through trainings, offering them governance trainings to make sure that structures are in place, systems are in place, they understand on what to do. We offer them capacity building in financial literacy, on how to use the money, on how to mobilize their savings, on how to mobilize share capital for their own. Remember, what we are giving is not big. We are giving them small, and we want them to build on that small. We give them seeds, and now we teach them on how to manage the seed to grow from a seed to a seedling and a big plant, and then they get fruits through that capacity building. Through capacity building, we do what we call peer-to-peer learning. Our circles and groups are at different levels. Some are at foundation, some are at intermediary, others are at advanced. So when we bring the younger ones to learn from the big ones, they learn more. They learn by seeing. You know, when you tell them that this is possible, they think that maybe it's your word, it's theory. But when you get a circle from Moroto and goes to Mbarara and learn by seeing, they go back when they are converted. And that one, we have done it from all corners of the country, taking them to where there are good circles, good groups are performing better, and they do exchange visits and they learn from each other. We have seen that from that one, our circles, the young circles are improving, Another thing, what we train them in is group dynamics. These groups normally disintegrate. We have that challenge. But once you have taken them through group dynamics, how they manage their groups, how they manage their savings, we find that they live longer. And even some groups have graduated from group level into turning into cooperatives. So that's our first line, capacity building. Then from capacity building, we go to grants. We have so many grantees. Our president brought in the program of presidential initiative. And this here I'm talking about our MYOGAs. Our MYOGAs were established from zero. Unlike other circles where they were forming themselves, they were having some money, but these ones from the cabinet directive, the 18 categories, we started them from zero. Formation, registration, up to where they are. So we did a very, very big job of ensuring that they are where they are. Where we started with 30 million, as the RCC was talking about, that was a small block. Those who performed well, we gave them 20, others we have given them 20. But please still, and viewers, I want to tell you that these circles, in 2019, they had zero savings. But as I speak, they have more than 90 billion. 90 billion. That's a lot for us. And the saving culture, you know, a saving culture in our country is still very low. And that's what we are putting in place.
There's so much hand to mouth.
Yes. And we are telling our circles, our groups that no, even if tomorrow you have, you can save. So we are fronting the saving culture, because when we know that our circles are saving, when we see our circles saving, when we see our group savings, that's when we see households' income increasing. That's when we see business increasing. That's when we see job creation coming in. So that's a big thing we are fronting. Savings culture into our communities, saving culture into the other person. And also, Priscilla and viewers, you should know that the commercial banks we have they are not spread into villages. We have so many people who have been financially excluded. So now, as Microfinance Support Centre, we are spearheading the financial inclusion. That last person, you talked about, you asked the other sister about the women, the disabled,
The youth.
The youth. Those people were financially excluded. In the money economy, they were not there. But now we are going for them, and they are coming up, they are coming up. We have seen carpenters coming up. We have seen welders coming up. Tailors coming up. Fishermen coming up. We have seen women, Priscilla and viewers, women going into value addition. Going into value addition. They get their way.
So we have groups in, she mentioned borders, you've talked about fisheries, of course, farming in all capacities. You've talked about women, what other groups?
Owners.
We have 18 categories. We have borders, she talked about them. We have the youth leaders, she talked about them. We have the women entrepreneurs. We have the carpenters. We have the welders. We have the salon operators. We never left them down. And you remember the salon?
COVID-19.
And remember the salon operators, most of them are youth and women. We are supporting them. We have the carpenters, we have the welders, we have you, the journalists, we have you. I don't know whether you have joined the Mwoga.
After here.
After here.
After here, yes.
I want you to join Mwoga. We have the journalists, because you do a great job. Yes, yes.
I will be giving a testimony after here. I'm joining.
We have the fishermen. The fishermen were among the people also who were excluded. The fishermen, actually here, we extend it even to go to fishermongers. We have supported them. We have our taxi operators. Our taxi operators, we mean the drivers, the touts who said, those who call people.
Conductors.
Yes, all of them are included in the tax operators. We have restaurant owners, as she said. We have the producers. The producers is a very, very big one, because these ones that are in agriculture. We have not left them down. So we have also the elected leaders. Elected leaders, we have separated a bit them. The cabinet also looked at them and said, for these ones, we give them 50. Others, they started at 30. But for the elected leaders, they started at 50. But we have seen them also grow. Then you have the veterans. The veterans, and also we consider the orphans of the veterans. So we have 18 categories under Myoga, and we have seen these Myogas perform well, grow from one level to another. The produce dealers, like when you go to Chisoro, we have the Bufumbira produce dealers. They have a good milling machine. They are packing their kaunga. And remember, they started from zero. But from that 30 million and saving slowly by slowly, you see a testimony. Yes. Okay.
All right. On that note, I would like you to encourage our audience this morning. People usually want to do things by themselves. And they've had bad experiences with group ventures, and so they have been discouraged from joining anything that is group related, and yet to best benefit from the offers on table through the support center, you've got to be in a circle or in a group, a targeted group. Can you encourage them with the advantages that come with doing things as a group versus individual?
Thank you, Priscilla. The Englishman said that if you want to grow, if you want to move very fast, move alone. Yeah. But if you want to move very far, move with a group. If you want to go very far, you move in a group. You will not get tired. So once you are in a group, you pull the resources together. You pull the resources together. You bring one block, I bring one block, he brings one block. We put it together. We put the building. You see this flat that we are in. It started from one stone. If they had left that one stone to be alone, believe me, this building would not be there. So this building exists because there was this one stone added on another, added on another. So the same applies to the group or to a circle. There is a magic of numbers. Once you give you a saving of 10,000, I bring mine 10,000, 20,000, we put it together and we give it to one person. Now that we have given him capital, which he cannot get alone. But from our little one by one, we have made a bundle and we have given it to her. She has used it and she brings it back. That's one. Two, when you are borrowing, and we are borrowing from a commercial bank, we borrow from there. When they get returns, the returns are for theirs. But as a group, as a circle, when we get returns, the returns are ours. That's another advantage. Another advantage is that you copy from each other. You run from each other. You run from each other in a group, in a circle. There's that advantage of working together, of copying from each other, learning from each other, and also the pooling resources together. It's very important, pooling resources together. So I encourage viewers that let us learn to move with in a group, in a circle, and that's when we can build our Uganda. That's when we can build our country. You asked about our services as I was still proceeding. The Microfinance Support Centre, we have a product of Islamic financing. I don't know whether you have heard of people getting loans under Islamic financing.
Yes.
Yes. We're implementing a local economic growth project, that is LEGS. We also have other monies under Islamic financing where people come, circles, groups come, we give them loans, and they go and do what we call Sharia compliant businesses. That means there is we must obey the Sharia law, meaning that if you have a business of pork, if you have a business of gambling, that one you don't touch. You come and we give you the other money. But money for Islamic financing, we have it. Where we can go into partnership, where we can give you can say, I want a border. You come, we give it to you. But what we say, which border do you want? Which type? Then we agree on the markup. It doesn't have interest, but we share profits. We request for a markup. That markup, we agree on it.
Okay.
So there's a negotiation. And there is where we partnership. We do business together. And we share losses and we share profits. Yes. Okay. But our greatest focus is on building strong circles, giving them capacity building. The others is part of it, supporting. Okay. Loans, the government has given us money to give to the people through circles, through groups. The MASCOM, the communications manager has talked about it. 8% per annum. That is 0.6% per month. It's nowhere in Uganda. The cheapest in Uganda.
All right.
Very accessible.
Going back to the communications manager as the Deputy RCC. Yes.
Said about the grouping, Priscilla, and this is something the viewers should know. Now, when these groups are formed, some of the leaders, the chairperson, secretary, and treasurer, some of these own these groups. They own, and the members of the circles don't get the information, and which I would think that everybody in the circle should know what is happening, how they get the money, how the money is being utilized, and all these other things. But some circles, the leaders own. Even they make withdrawals, and they use the money for their own and form the members after, which is not allowed. So I think we need to fight those vices. Why? This is a group thing. Everybody in the circle should know what is happening. And when the monies are withdrawn from the banks, they need to go to the beneficiaries, real beneficiaries, and they go and do what they are supposed to do. Then another practical thing I have seen is that that some people don't also prepare for the enterprises they are going to invest in. Somebody is just in the group. That's why I always tell people of Makinde that waroche tugamba mu Luganda obwesigwa. This money from microfinance or any money from the government is for work. It's not for you, for personal use. So the moment you leave that, then and this money needs somebody who is hardworking. If you're not hardworking, you'll take the money, it will get out of it, and you'll not see the fruits out of that. So we need to work hard, and we get the the results.
Okay. All right. On the gaps that she has mentioned, especially in structure and the trust in structure, maybe Tadeo, you could speak into that, and what are some of the resolutions that you could be coming through as the support center to support that loophole to be eliminated for better service delivery?
Thank you, Priscilla, and the viewers. I know now people understand the real depth of what Microfinance Support Center is all about. Now, with all these, I think what you would call development programming gaps, which we work on a daily basis, because development is not something that you have today like a switching on power. We, through the capacity building that the head of business development services has talked about, we continuously engage and work with the circles, the circle leaders, the training, the exchange visits, for them to get to learn best practices across the spectrum. So you might be having a circle, for instance, in Kamuli, and you're struggling with record keeping. You're struggling with savings. You are struggling with how to mobilize the members. When you interact with somebody from Moroto who is succeeding in that area, you're able to learn how you're doing it. The whole point is that we continuously engage and build the capacity of the circles. It is a whole calling towards this. That's why we're looking at the journey from 2019 for the Myogas, but we're talking about 2001 for the Microfinance Support Center, and the lives that have touched our services and have benefited. I was just reading the report. Actually, we're looking at about 10 million people that have benefited from the different services cumulatively over these years. Now, if you use the multiplier kind of model, you see how many of those households are there for benefiting. The other aspect that we do is, first of all, is the availability of the finance. You can have a bright idea, but you don't have the finance. And I'm talking about affordable. Is it affordable? Can I access it easily? Do I have the trust? One of the things I have learned, you have traversed the whole country, interacted with these beneficiaries. They are secure in a group because if I am in a group with Priscilla, I know Priscilla. I know Priscilla's husband. I know where they stay. It's not easy for Priscilla to run around with money than somebody else who is an individual and just picks money. They share their issues together, they plan together, and they are able to say, now, for you, you can be able to invest in this. Now we are looking at savings. If you save, we have a very bad culture of savings. I don't know how you're doing it, Priscilla, but you realize that we tend to eat more of what we would have saved. Now, when they come together in this group, they learn to say, I can be able to save and accumulate this amount. At the Microfinance Support Center, we also have another area of projects, support different projects. Our teams now must be returning from Chiruhura, where they have been able to, a demonstration farm, where we have given out animals, sheep, pigs, we give out cows. But the core point is, come to this demonstration farm, learn. If you're interested in poultry, if you're interested in piggery, if you're interested in goat rearing, come and learn. You see it practically. We take our classes from the boardroom to the ground. And that's what makes Microfinance Support Center tick. That you're able to learn and say, this is how I want to run my enterprise. And I'm proud to say, Priscilla, we've seen the circles under the Myogas. Restaurant owners provide services to national events. There is a group in Nakasongola, very proud of them, during the presidential tours that were happening in the central region. This group, they are under a Myoga, they have their restaurant, they were able to prepare food. Now, they didn't prepare that food for free. No.
It's a cost. They
it's a cost. The people who came and are looking for a service, they are able to pay. Now, that is catering profit. Now, it goes to their circle. Under the LEGS program that my colleague of head of business has talked about, recently we have been giving out tractors. But when the SACCOs are coming to receive the tractors, the chairperson, the treasurer, they come along with the driver. I have been so interested in talking to the driver to connect, to see, does he see the value of the tractor, and says, you don't know what you have done to my family. I have a job. I can take my siblings to school because now I have a ready job. And the tractor is not breaking tomorrow. He's assured of that job. Now, that's what we are calling job creation. We have got groups that are making wine. They are employing young people who are able to actually benefit. Now, the other aspect is around the returnees. We also, in terms of inclusion, we have returnees, we have got refugees, we have got people of short stature, whom we deliberately target, because that is the core team that we need to bring into the money economy. And that is the mandate of the Microfinance Support Centre, that we're able to make sure that you are there, you have your account, you have the money, you have an enterprise, you can look after yourself, and thereafter you're able to talk about, even when they say the budget is being read, you have a meaning to say, I am contributing to that budget. So the, albeit the challenges that we have planned for with our robust and professional teams on the ground, and making sure that there's access to our services across the country. Maybe next month or the other we'll be opening another office in Gulu, is to have access to our services, so that when somebody wants literacy kind of engagement, we're able to give. But also we work through the other structures of government. We have very good relationships with the Uganda Revenue Authority that is able to give capacity building to our groups. We have the Ministry of Trade and Industry and Cooperatives that is also able to support with certifications. We also have a whole committed team of the RDCs, the RCCs, the district technical teams, the district commercial officers, who on a daily basis are there to ensure that the government mandate is attained. So we work together and see how do we engage. But also at the leadership level, the other day we were blessed to have the Vice President join one of the circles, the veteran circles, Usuk Veteran Circle in Katakwi. She's a member. Now, when they sit, I was amazed at the AGM. They sit and she's there as a member and she's talking as a member. Now, that cements our mandate, that everyone is part of it and is able to mobilize each other, and then we're able to contribute towards the socio-economic transformation. Otherwise, it will remain abstract. Okay. Yeah. So we, in terms of the making sure we do sensitization, this is part of it. We already started onto this effort. We are on radios, but the RDCs normally have provided us with 1 hour. They also have 1 hour of talking about development and across the country. It with you. Yes. Yeah. And they share it, they invite us. That's why she's here. Okay. You know, because we work together on a daily basis. And we ensure that even the community people at the local level are involved, the leaders, to come and talk about this. Now, it may not be that it is Tadeo who is always talking about it. It's so much important for us as Microfinance Support Centre that a leader in Chiruhura, a leader in Moroto, a leader in Kotido, Oyam, a member of parliament, is standing up to say, have you saved? Have you joined a circle? Are you in a group? Have you heard about the GROW? Have you heard about PDM? Have you heard about a Myoga? And coming and see, yes, you people, you are a Myoga circle. What are you doing? Are you using the money well? Because then together we are working as a team. And I'm proud to say that that is ongoing, and we always work with each other. I can easily call the RCC and say, how is matching, how are we doing? Yes, the president, please. Yes. And also proud even for the media that will continuously document and profile these stories, so that people are able to be inspired. Priscilla, there are people who still are into that area of, is it working?
And then that's where I would like us to go. Yes. Inspiration, is it working? And there could be someone, because we're talking about already existing groups and categories. Now let's talk about attracting other Ugandans. You've talked about 10 million, so now we have another 35 million to work with to also attract into these opportunities. Mr. Inamani, how can someone be a part of this cause? How can someone be a part of the financial transformation that you are driving as the Microfinance Support Centre? And how do they get to create this group or even belong to the group? What's the criteria? What are the requirements?
Thank you, Priscilla. For a person to join a group or to join a circle, there is no requirement. There is no requirement because it's open for all. When we were starting it, as I have said, we are mobilizing people, sensitizing people. But now every Ugandan is free to join any group or any circle in his area. Are you a resident there? Do members know you? For a myoga, are you in that category? You can't be a tax and you go to join the border. You must be doing that same work. That enterprise. What is important is, are you in that area? Are you in that LC? Because our enterprises for a myoga, they are based at the parish level. Okay. Apart from Kampala and the Wakiso, the rest are, the associations are based at the parish level. Then from the parish, they join the circle, which is at the constituency. So for you to be a member of the journalists, let's say in Vamunanika.
In fact, just use me as the example.
So, Priscilla, where do you come from? Where is your parish?
Rubaga South.
Rubaga South. Now in Rubaga South, there must be a ward. So you must be a journalist residing there. You go into that association in Rubaga there. There is an association for journalists. But if it's not there in that association, then you go into the nearby. Because we are saying if you are not in your cell, you don't have enough people to join to make an association, you can now go to the neighboring one. Then in that ward, you must have an association. You join it. Then from the association, it goes to now Rubaga, at the constituency level. But for Kampala, it's different. It's not like other country because of the population density. Here we zoned them. So you find that in Rubaga there is a zone where you belong. In another there is a zone. There is a zone where we have zoned them, but you can join in the nearby association. Now you can't now start a new one. Yeah. You can join, and everybody is welcome to join.
Okay. Yes. All right. And then on the district level, what's the difference? How do they get to be a part of those groups? Now at the district level, we don't have a staff at the district level. Apart from, I have said Kampala, they are zoned according to zones. Wakiso, they are zoned because of also the population density. The circle is at the sub-county or at town council. Then outside Wakiso and Kampala, the circle is at the constituency. So each constituency we have 18 mega circles. So the other associations at the parish level, they combine themselves, they join and make a circle at the constituency level. Okay. So once you join that association at the parish level, that means you are a member of the circle at the constituency level. Yes. Okay. All right. What of the case that someone listening to us this morning is not in any of the 18 categories that you currently cater to as the Microfinance Support Centre? What happens if it's, for example, tailoring?
Tailoring, there's a category.
There's a category.
Yes, there is a category. As tailors, we have a category for tailors. So if we are among the 18, you are among the 18, and is not in any, can just walk into our office. They will direct him that now for you, you join this circle, you contact this circle. Because we have the database of all circles countrywide. So we have our zonal offices, they are spread into 12 zones with 6 satellite offices. But also, as the head of communication has said, we have the task force at the district, which is headed by the RDC. So they can just walk into RDC's office and say, please, I want to join a myoga, but I don't know where to start from. Okay. She will be guided, or he will be guided immediately. All right.
Something also to add on that. Yes, on those who don't belong to the 18 categories. Because there are other projects that are also ongoing. the PDM, the women. So I feel that if you don't belong to any of those in those categories, then you should see the RDC of the area and see how you can join these other projects. Because you cannot fail to be in women, you cannot fail to be, something. So you must be somewhere.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. On that regard, Mr. Tuhura, you did mention of the 25 years that have been of the work that is under the Microfinance Support Centre. Let's talk about the achievements. What have been the achievements so far?
The first achievement is the lives that have been transformed. When we're talking about close to 6,810 circles under Myoga that have been formed, plus the 2,000 under conventional, we're talking about real work of transformation. When we're talking about over the 10 million that have touched our service cumulatively over the period of 25 years, that is talking about our transformation. The other is our contribution towards the employment and job creation. And you must have seen and already the figure that the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development read during the budget. That is a very critical contribution. But more importantly is also about the capacity building. How many leaders have been trained, those that have touched with the literacy, to make sure that they are empowered. It means that even if they got to any point and they received the money, remember, like the head of business has said, we grow these circles. There is a circle that has moved and can be able to become, to get even money beyond just what we're offering through our mandate. Then they have the skill. They will tell you, if I didn't have Microfinance Support Center, then there would be a challenge. So in terms of building really a whole critical mass of those that we would call the wealth creators, is been part of our achievement, and we're proud of that. But also the other critical access is to services. We have opening offices to make sure that people are able to access our services closer. Now, the more you bring a service closer, the more you're giving affordable access. And so we continue to do that across in our program, but also more guided by a strategic plan. The strategic plan is that anchors everything that you're thinking about. And all the stakeholders are part and parcel of that strategic plan.
Okay.
But with in the 25 years, for me, is really that mother who couldn't take their children to school because they lacked money to start up a business they can be able to start up.
Okay.
That young person who didn't have a job, but because their father or their brother is a welder, they're in a welders group association, he has a job to do, and he cannot just loiter around. That person of short stature, who everyone would say, what have you come to do? But now can I tell you, I can weave my baskets, I can have things to do, I have got my income. That for me is a great celebration.
Okay.
When I see the refugees, the returnees having a home because they have got financial inclusion, for me that is celebrating 25 years. When His Excellency the President really stands up and says, this is the dream, I see, I live that dream on a daily basis at the
Speaking of President, Madam President, what is your assessment of the performance of the Microfinance Support Centre in the 25 years to the people?
I think, thank you so much. And Tadeo talked about the president, and I think the president has good intentions for this country. Actually, he's a parent of everybody. Yes. Not his own family, but for every Ugandan. And in Kampala, I think microfinance is doing their work. But I think what I would think is that they should produce quality service to the people. Because when we go to these meetings, of course, you find some gaps here and there, where that the money that are supposed to go to the people are not the money that are going there. So those are the things I think we need to see as planners and implementers, and we streamline things. Because as you all know that our mandate as RDCs is to monitor and supervise. But we supervise what they have given. So if we really assess microfinance, they also have gaps. They are not 100%, but they are doing their best so that the program is on ground and it is impact is there. Right. But they need to improve.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. As we're coming to the end of this discussion, we also want to know what's the commitment to the future as the Microfinance Support Centre in regards to the socio-economic transformation journey that our country is on. Mr. Ainamani, what's the commitment of the Support Centre in ensuring that they can be able to push that agenda on behalf of government?
Thank you, Priscilla. The Microfinance Support Centre is committed to ensuring that the final person, the person who is financially excluded, comes to the money economy. They have talked about people of short stature, but I want to tell you, even we have reached up to these ladies who sell themselves. We have brought them up and we are giving them money. We are supporting them. So our aim is to make sure that the last person who is financially excluded gets back to the money economy. Okay. We want people saving. We want people benefiting from affordable credit.
All right. I'm going to give the communications manager the closing remarks, call to action, and also how to attract people to get into the, the support center and benefit from the services, particularly when it comes to capacity building. I think that has been a major milestone by and large.
Thank you, Priscilla. I would say that just walk into the Microfinance Support office across the country. We have an office in Jinja, we have an office, that the zone office in Mbale, in Soroti, in Moroto. We're opening one in Gulu, we have in Arua, we have in Kabale, in Mbarara, in Hoima, Masaka, we have in Kampala. Actually, head office in Kampala, Nakasero, but there's also another office, a zone office for Kampala, which is Soli's house. Walk in, we are open and we'll be able to support you. If you have any challenges, please reach us on our social media platforms. We can be able to respond. But also, you can easily call us, toll-free line, note or 08, note, then 20 10 10. You can be able to get served. It is very important for us to note that all these services we're talking about as a government agency, they're free. So when you come to us, we'll be able to support you very well. We don't have anything like, please, I wanted to get a loan, and then they asked me, can you first pay me some envelope? No. We will do our business transparently with a team that is able to really to support you throughout and listen to you and be able to make sure that we are onto one agenda. Okay. And we would like to request everyone, as Ugandans, it's very important for us to take up these services. Let's be able to take up these opportunities. Don't just sit there and lament. No. Government has brought very rich menu that we should be able to utilize.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Atuhura. Thank you so much for your support to the people of Uganda as far as socio-economic development is concerned. Madam President Nashemeza Caroline, Deputy RCC for Machindye Division, thank you so much.
Yes, I end by thanking Priscilla, the host, and the management of NTV. And I want to thank Microfinance Support Centre. There is my friend actually who co-opted on this team, Chulunda. If you're watching, I want to thank you so much. Okay. I want to thank my family that is watching me. But my word is that this is government money. Government money, we should take it, use it very well, and return it back so that other people can also get it. Let's not be very mean. And the Bible says that after all the government has done, after eating big or small, one, we should remember our God, but let's not forget our president, the commander-in-chief.